Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be showing you two things. How to remove the front bumper and how to install some factory tow hooks. I actually have the Mopar kit with the factory tow hooks. You can ignore the chrome ones that are in there. They're just there cosmetically. I was waiting to find some brackets. I was able to find some, and so now I'm going to show you how to install them correctly. And also, in case you're curious, I can show you how to install them temporarily in a cosmetic way. Now the job might sound a little bit complex, especially if you're not used to working on cars, having to pull the front bumper. It's actually a relatively easy front bumper to pull. You might need a helper so you don't scratch it up. You're going to need, I think, pretty much just a 10 millimeter, and you will need a drill bit, and I'll show you about that in a second. And let's get started. The first thing I would recommend doing is getting some masking tape and just masking off both the bumper and the fender here, because when you pull the bumper off, it's going to rub up against this just a little bit, and this will protect any damage from happening at all. If your Jeep has these, avoid them because you're gonna have to pop those off separately, and we'll also protect those a little separately. So we'll go ahead and do this to both sides and then move on to the next step. Alright guys, so we're down here on the floor, and the only things you really have to touch down here, there's a 10 millimeter bolt right here, and then there's going to be two like plastic rivets that you're going to have to drill out. Now I've already had mine off, but it's not that hard. I know it sounds a little complex. Turn the wheel a little bit, 3/16 inch drill bit, and just drill through them both. They'll both pop out, and then as soon as you get them out, everything is free. And what you do is, if you go to Lowe's, you might have, I have like a whole stack of these. You just need to buy some more of these to replace them. They're the same ones that are everywhere else. For some reason, the 84 holes that they had, they put these in except for two right here. And so, whatever. They're pretty simple once you drill them out. And then for future reference, you never have to drill them out again because you just put these guys in there. So anyway, once they're out, that allows you to pull this piece out and away from the car. And it is the other scratching hazard. So what I like to do is just take another piece of tape, and right here you're going to pop out this one just by simply pulling away. When you get to this top one though, so there's a hole right there, so if you simply put a piece of tape over it, it won't click itself back in. And then there's also two plastic clips here and here that you just don't want scratching your bumper. Now we'll finish up just by taking off this 10 millimeter bolt. Okay, so where we just took out that 10 millimeter bolt is the bumper and a threaded nut. If you pull it off, like just pull down on the bumper, it is now free. Let's see how it touches here. So you just got to be careful. So anyway, you gently pull it away. It unclips pretty gently right here, and this side's ready to go. So now we're going to go over to the other side, do that, and then I'll show you what you got to undo on the bottom of the bumper. Now we're going to take you underneath to show you what you have to do under here. No tools involved. If you look underneath the bumper, there are 6 of these total. 4 on the front bumper, and then 2 on the splash skirts. All you got to do is just give them a quarter twist, and they'll wiggle their way off. And I lied. There's only 3 here, so 5 total. And then, like I said, there's 1 in the wheel well right here, and also on the other side. Okay, now we're simply going to pull the bumper. There are some snaps here, but the rest of it, it just basically sets on top of it. Now, if you have fog lights, which I think they all do, you're going to have to unplug those harnesses, and I'll show you how it's done. So I've already showed you, you got to make sure you free this. This is why we put that tape over here, because we don't want it to get messed up. But this side's technically already free. Pops up pretty easily over here. I'm going to go do the other side real quick. Okay. So once you kind of slide it off, you can get a hand here. I'm going to go ahead and get the... There we go. Alright, as you move it back a little bit, you can see those harnesses for your fog lights, and they're pretty easy to unplug. You'll see them as you pull off. As long as you keep the front of the bumper on these tabs, it's not going to fall with you standing here. Okay, so that's really the only thing attached. So I'm just going to hold it here. Carefully pull it straight out. We're free. Now you don't need to remove the grill to do the tow hooks, obviously, but to finish off this video, I'll just show you it's done. There's a 10 millimeter here and a 10 millimeter here. So you need to undo both of those. Now there are, I believe there's 6 snaps here up top. If you just kind of gently reach underneath here and pull up with your fingers, you'll feel them release. Okay? And then you simply pull this away. There it goes. So continuing on to the tow hooks, you need to remove the splash shield so you can access the rear bolts for this. Looks like some 10 millimeters, some 13 millimeters, and then we should be able to get it off pretty quick. All right, so now we're going to go on to installing the tow hook. And just in case you're curious, you can install these just like if you're looking for brackets and you just want to install them cosmetically and you're not going to use them, you can literally just kind of do it like I did here. These are just bolts with washers all the way through. As you can see, we don't have any brackets back here. So that's how you do it. And like I said, these brackets that they come with are like unobtanium now apparently. And they're not that hard to make. If you can't find these brackets for some reason, you just want to make them. It's basically 27 millimeters of spacing between the frame and where the mounting point of the thing is. And so I mean, you could just use some bolts. These are 5/16 grade 8 bolts. And so if you just come up with 27 millimeters of spacer, that's all you need to install them. So the first thing we're going to put on is the bracket. As you can see, it has this little T shape at the end. And that part is going to go first, just like that. The supplied hardware, I should get the thread count. Maybe I'll put these in the description. I'm pretty sure you can find the bolts for sale, but there are already pre-threaded holes back in there. So we're simply going to take a 16 millimeter. I'm just going good and tight, nothing crazy by any means. All right, so like I said, the brackets they gave you are a little bit, they're more than they really have to be. I don't know why they made them so awkward. So the first part, this metal is just so these don't drop through the holes. But then again, if you're using a bolt and washer, you're fine. There we go. Now they also give you these stickers, and the idea, I believe, is when you put the foam tape on here, after you tighten the bolt, it holds it in place for if ever you have to future remove it, you don't have to redo all these brackets. Now, one other thing to know about the brackets is they are tapered. So obviously the tapered side is going to go where this bumper part is, just because of the shape of the crash bar up front. The easiest way I found to do these from the other side is to slide this guy in first, all the way to the back. Take your bolts, put them right through the holes. And you can just slide the guy right up in here and start threading into place. Okay, now we're threaded. So we simply can push these up into place. And remember, you don't want them to follow the curve of the bumper. You want them to parallel to the nose of the car. And slide these out into place. That's about it. Essentially, the hook's going to self-center everything. And then you can tighten them down. All right, and then the last thing to install is the nut. I believe it's a 30 millimeter. But the thing is, you don't really have to tighten it. You just put it on there, because the way these are designed is if you get in a car accident, the tow hooks will push back. So this only keeps it from pulling out. If you tighten it, you're literally going to pull it out of here. So make it just snug. Make sure it doesn't move these at all. So if you need something, you can use a crescent wrench. Or in my case right now, I just got a 30mm socket right here. Like I said, they pretty much just get snugged. Not even really good and tight at all. Because now you can sit back and look and make sure both of your tow hooks are even. And if they are, you're good to go on this. Okay, now to finish this off, we're just going to simply put the grill back on. Everything else, like the skid plate and everything, is all reverse of how you installed it. But I'll kind of just show you how to one-handed or one-man put the bumper back on. The only thing I really forgot to mention about the bumper is obviously if you don't have tow hooks, there's a little cover right here. On the back, you'll just simply see 2 little pop pins that you got to pop out, and that cover comes off. There's no cutting, at least on the 11 through 13s. So now we're going to put the bumper cover back on. Again, you're going to just want to make sure that the ends of the bumper aren't getting stuck on anything. So what I'm going to do is just kind of rest it at first on this bumper support. Then we'll reach in here and just do the fog lights again. Fog lights are in. So obviously we want to make sure we go nice and even and straight. Okay. So that's kind of the key, is just to get it to click in here. When you push it in here, it'll glide in over there. You can see why we put it on the masking tape, because they will rub a little bit as you're kind of doing this, even if you had 2 people. So once again, I'm just going to line it up underneath the headlight and just push it in. Okay, so now the last thing we want to do to get it all lined up is kind of pull it off. Remember how we popped it off over here before? Now we're just going to click it in place. That's it. Once you get it all clicked in place, you can remove the tape, snap these pieces back in, put in the 10mm, and like I said, the ones you drilled out, just get ones of these and put them in instead. And really that's it. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. There's going to be a lot more Jeep videos to come. So if you like Jeeps, Mercedes, Ferraris, Blazers, anything, just like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.